Play of the game from way down.
Silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bombstastingo gonna find Rainer.
Oh, the life finder keeps Maev up. It was gonna be a close thing.
And healing. What? Get out of no! No!
Triple stun again. Big flanks coming out from the Blaze.
It's a death metal though.
Death metal into the double, triple kill.
Hello everybody and welcome. It's Sunday and we're gonna catch a replay cast between Die for Vision and Wood League. This is a Division C East game, played a few days ago, I think on Tuesday. So let's take a quick look at the maps that we have banned here. So for Die for Vision, the map bans were the Infernal Shrines and Towers of Doom. For Wood League, Cursed Hollow and Sky Temple were the bans. Our selection going to be Volskaya Foundry, the selection of Wood League. So nice and easy. With replay casts, we don't get the opportunity to check out the drafts, but what we can do is tell you what was banned. So it looks like banned from Die for Vision, we had Kael'thas, Johanna, and Garrosh. And we only had two bans for Wood League, which were Lucio and Falstad. And I forgot to actually set up the teams on the list here. Let me do that just real quick here. So, let's see. So our actual teams here, and I believe, let's see, 21. So yeah, I believe that Kira was available for this. However, was not picked, at least not in this set. But we're gonna see a Jaina, Stukov, Chen, Zeratul, and Muradin coming out from Wood League. And looks like I've got all the people in there, right? That's cool. That makes that easier. And then for Die for Vision, we're gonna see a name I've not seen before. Let's see, Earl Schlepp, gonna be on ETC. Let's see, Roy on Gul'dan. Changing names up here. Or maybe they're not, but it's not the way that the add-on has it here. Anduin as well, along with Rexar and Sonya. So a very heavy front line with a lot of focus on the Gul'dan value. And again on Volskaya Foundry, able to get a pretty significant amount of damage on those points with a Gul'dan, allowing Gul'dan to kind of hang out in the back, make use of the corruption, especially with echoed corruption once that is completed. So let's go ahead and hop into this, and thank you again for the bits there, Silvara. Much appreciated. And we'll show you guys the standings once we're done here, so we don't give anything away. Let me just find the replay. Here we go. So again, Volskaya Foundry gonna be the map. Excuse me. I'm gonna hold off on showing the actual game screen until loaded so that I can turn off the timer. That way you don't ruin the surprise of how long the game goes. With Volskaya Foundry, it could be 15 minutes, it could be 32 minutes. All right. Get rid of that. And here we go. Game number one. And Droopy going AFK immediately. Right away. And starts us on the right. So we'll go ahead and introduce Wood League first here. All right. On the right for Wood League, we have Kavlar on Jaina, Droopy on Zeratul, Cyan on Chen, Sailor Sky on Stukov, and Entino on Muradin. And for Die for Vision, on the left, the blue team, Earl Schlepp on ETC, Roy on Gul'dan, Shamhat on Anduin, Atlas on Rexar, and Sulfide on Sonya. And Shamhat saying, I do. Just go ahead and turn off chat so we're not distracted there. So let's see, any interesting talents here? So far, all right, so all the things for Die for Vision look pretty well standard. We are going to see Murden going into the Stormbolt quest at level 1. Is that Perfect Storm? Yeah. So looking for that additional damage. I think that's really all that I see that's kind of unique. Although I guess Low Blow is kind of a, I don't even want to call it a meme pick. It's a pick that does come out, just not as often as some others. So, Chen v Rexar in the bot lane. So, I've heard both sides of this as to which hero can ultimately win this. I think a lot of it depends on ultimately how the Rexar player plays. If they're able to keep Misha up in the front there and keep Rexar away from the Panda, then Rexar can certainly win that. But if not, then Chen's ability to flying kick right onto the Rexar and get some damage does give Chen a little bit of an advantage there, that hypermobility. So Zeratul and Stukov picking up the first fortification camp here for Wood League, and Rexar and Sonya doing the same on the opposite side there. That's going to give Wood League a little bit of an advantage here, rotating around with their 4-man. Chen in the bot lane still working on that XP soak, and now with the timer advantage, at least, they're going to jump right onto the support camp. We'll see if Die for Vision is able to sniff this out quickly and get up here to address this. And it looks like not quite able to get there quickly enough. And maybe, you know, with this comp setup, I mean, Die for Vision has a very beefy front line there, so maybe even if they did show up, Wood League might not have even been that concerned about it. But we'll see how this goes here. So 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I expect to see some teams go into their siege camps here soon. Danger pings being called out. We got level 4s for both teams. And there's the ping calling for the Wood League siege camp, as Sonya's already on the Die for Vision siege camp. So here we go. All right, so both of these are going to go out about the same time, which is going to be roughly around the time that the control point spawns. All right, so pretty much almost exactly the same time here. So no global potential. So we're not going to see the clear and then say a sudden Dahaka in the back line or anything like that. As Wood League is going to be first up on the camp here. And Zeratul setting himself up to attack the back line when it comes in, or even stall out a rotation in from the bottom lane. And there goes Zeratul right onto Anduin, with the turret getting pretty significant value there onto Anduin. But it's going to be the Wood League team taking a lot of damage there and pulling off. So both turrets used, although Wood League still has their biotic emitter. And it looked like at least a few of them went back to use their healing well as well. ETC power sliding in onto Droopy there. There's that biotic emitter, but Sonya trying to take it down with her whirlwind, ultimately is able to get it down there before it's out for too long. Chen gets that root and the power slide over as well, trying to stay alive with the stagger. And no kills. 4 minutes into this game. Currently, little bit of a siege advantage for Wood League here, as their camp is defending at the wall pretty well there. So 65% picked up for Wood League. And Die for Vision coming in onto the point here, trying to get this, but Panda Man just hanging out, drinking his brew, as you do. Big silence coming out, keeping ETC pretty well locked down, having to use the leap of faith to get out of dodge, as no power slide and face melt available when sitting in a silence puddle. And Misha's going to be the first kill of this game. I don't think it counts as first blood, though. And up in the top, we do see that siege camp is getting closer to that wall, is already getting some value out of that. Chen, again, coming into the back line here, just as Zeratul did earlier, getting some cleave damage out of that Zeratul. It's going to be Jaina going down first, however. Whirlwind into three members of Wood League here, and Cyan's full health bar from that stagger is going to lead to another death, followed up by the Stukov kill. So 3 for essentially nothing. Earlier we saw the Misha kill there. And with half of this left to go, I think that Die for Vision can probably take this now. So we'll see. Droopy clearing up that top lane, trying to keep that line of minions going. And Gul'dan picking up this turret to provide additional pressure here. ETC all by himself on the point here, though. And here come the rest of the team. Whoever wins this fight wins this next protector. And a couple of big stuns, maybe a little bit of overlap there, but it's going to be ETC going down first, going in a little bit too far there. And Misha trying to zone out the Wood League team here. But Sonya's staying up in the front, trying to stall this out, get the value. Oh, almost able to take out the Jaina, but the silence is going to interrupt that whirlwind. Droopy going to go down in the back line, 1v3, and Sonya as well now. So 2 for 1, ETC coming back into this. This is quite the brawl here, as now it looks like Gul'dan as well going to go down, and Gul'dan going down is a huge problem for Die for Vision here, as Gul'dan is really their only damage. And I don't think I like this part. I mean, with no Gul'dan going into 4 with that silence as well, and you can see how much damage ETC was taking there. Got all the way down to about 1/3 of his health just from trying to walk away, since not able to use Power Slide or Face Melt or even his guitar solo to try to get that armor bonus. And traditional heading up toward the top lane, setting up for the second point here. Are able to get the wall down as well as the well. And we see these ultimates coming online as well. That took quite some time. Usually you don't see ultimates this early, but with that full charge on both sides, allowing them to get them. So what do we have here? We've got the Avatar for Muradin, Void Prison, of course, for Zeratul, Storm, Earth, and Fire out of Chen, Ring of Frost from Jaina, of course. Stukov not yet choosing his, but we do have for Die for Vision, Mosh Pit on that ETC, Horrify, so potentially a little bit of counter synergy possible there, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Light Bomb going out as well for Anduin. Is it Unleash the Boars? I never remember that. Yay, it is Unleash the Boars. And the Wrath of the Berserker for Sonya. And here comes a Void Prison here. The ring combo is going to delete Anduin, and it looks like ETC could be in danger as well. However, is able to Power Slide over the pandas there. Flailing Swipe coming out from Stukov, finally selecting that ultimate there, allowing for the disengage. So 1 kill for none there from on behalf of Wood League, using a lot of ultimates, but ultimately securing the kill. I see both of these teams here heading over to their fortification camps to pick up the turrets for the next objective. We're probably going to see, it wouldn't surprise me to see another fight over the support camp here. Well, I guess not another fight, they haven't had one over this, but an additional fight, and that location being at the support camp. That's what we'll say. But right now, picking up the siege camp, Rexar doing that all by himself. And here's that support camp I was just mentioning. We'll see how much of this team's going to come in. We do have all of the ultimates basically available for Die for Vision. There's a big mosh pit, follow up by the light bomb. Probably a little bit too early on that, but ultimately does hit 3, giving that shield to ETC. Emtino and Cyan getting very low. The secured kill onto ECC from Droopy there, getting that leap of faith out, but too low to stay in. But a 4-for-1 trade, and also able to pick up that support camp in favor of Die for Vision. And that is one challenge that Wood League is going to have with this comp is fighting over a very small area, especially one that where half of it, a full 180 degrees, is surrounded by a wall, is a great place to have a mosh pit or a horrify or a Sony Berserk. Like, all of that is just, it just heavily favors this Die for Vision comp. So you have to be really careful about that positioning, especially when your interrupts are Flailing Swipe and Stormbolt. I guess technically a well-placed Void Prison could also be your interrupt. Of course, you could also just look at Death, which is ultimately what they tried to go for there. And here's a 4-man Void Prison looking for that Ring of Frost, but they don't have it. So the Light Bomb going out is gonna... Oh no, just barely misses thanks to the face melt at the last moment there. And Storm Earth and Fire used here. Droopy trying to get in onto the Sonya, but they do get the double kill onto both Jaina and Zeratul. Did he take Pinball? He sure did take Pinball. Pinball Wizard. Getting that additional damage when the Power Slide knockback combo coming out. And now, so I see what they're going for, but I think I would have preferred them to go to the top lane. I mean, I know that they're here and all that stuff, but the top lane would have made it a little bit easier for them. But this gives them the open map in the middle, means that the Protector, if they can pick it up, they can clear out top, potentially even, you know, get some keep damage. I don't know that they're able to take out top and really get much value in the bottom lane, but now they're going to take out top because it's closer to the control point. We see Chen in the bottom lane. Let's pop up these level 13 talents for everybody here as well. And with the positioning of Die for Vision, we've got Wood League picking up all the camps that they possibly can. So we've already got one turret on Zeratul. We're going to pick up this second turret. We've got the siege camp going up in the top lane as well. And there should be enough time for this rotation all the way up to the top from the fortification camp in the bottom. Ultimates available to everybody on both sides. And there goes that Void Prison. And I think this is... yeah, okay. So... good mosh pit here, getting onto 4. Only Muradin out, but was stunned or horrified there. I did hear the horrify go out there. And what I was going to say is, I think that Die for Vision made a kind of a big mistake here, ultimately letting Wood League pull them out onto the mid lane here. Or not in the mid lane, in the top lane. As mentioned about the support camp positioning here, Die for Vision really gets value from having everybody kind of focused, funneled into that point. Granted, the Void Prison can also set that up as well. They were able to, both sides were able to get, you know, good Void Prison, good mosh pit, but they didn't have the follow-up. So Ring of Frost, Flailing Swipe, and Storm Earth and Fire are still available, or backup rather, at least, for Wood League here, as channel going up 96% so far for Die for Vision, as their full team is back and available. There is only the Light Bomb as far as a CC for Die for Vision here, so... And there's the Power Slide in. We see the support camp being used. Ring of Frost going out is going to hit onto ETC. Light Bomb going out as well. Looks like Rexar having to use that Feigned Death to stay alive. Pretty decent Horrify there, trying to isolate the Muradin and separate those pandas as well. But ultimately, this is just a bloodbath as Wood League taking it to Die for Vision on this top control point. Only Atlas remaining, holding up the world, and Die for Vision's hopes for this first game. And they're able to take down the top fort there. making their way probably all the way to the bottom. Or not. Clear. I don't know what I'm talking about. These guys do what they want. They don't listen to me. Oops. Didn't mean to click on you there, Jana. Sorry. I have a whining cat in the background. Hopefully that's not getting picked up on the stream. All right. 2 forts completed here and on their way down to the bot lane. Making their way down. We've got 38 seconds left on the protector. Front wall fully down, and it looks like ETC just gonna get blown up there. Got caught in a root and taken out by the laser and Zeratul combo. Big Ring of Frost onto 3. Live bomb going out, but there's nobody coming in to really do anything with that. And with the protector going down now, we're going to see them disengage. Wood League done with that. Instead, rotating up to get the turret camp, which should be free on this with this 4v5 with ETC down currently. And it looks like looking to come in here. Big Void Prison here. Here comes the Storm Earth and Fire. A little bit late maybe on the jump in, but the Horrify going out. And Droopy getting a ton of value out of that level 16 cleave. Getting the kill onto both the Gul'dan and now the Rexar, originally just the Misha. And this is looking very strong as this comp gets scarier and scarier later in the game that that this goes for Wood League. Equal in structures, 10 kills to 14, so not too far away on the actual kills either. But as we get closer to level 20 and some of these power spikes come online for Wood League, this is looking dangerous. Pings going out for both of these support camp and fortification camp. The Wood League wants to have item control going into this bottom control point, and they're going to get it. Level 20 is coming online here. So energizing brew for Chen. Interesting talent there. It takes a while for you to get that bonus, but it is a pretty significant bonus. Extra health and extra damage for Chen. We've got the Ice Blink for Jaina with that short range teleport. Is it Shadow Mending? For Zeratul getting that extra healing now with the cooldown reset of Cleave. So we're seeing very much of a similar build for Zeratul as to before he was nerfed a little bit there. Rewind for Muradin and top off, giving the extra healing when Stukov himself is high level, or high healing rather, high health. And since the control point has not spawned yet, I expect to see Wood League rotate up to grab this camp. Almost want them to hold it though. I don't see any specific reason that they should just pick it up and hold on to it. And it looks like they do exactly that, because they want to have this available for the bottom control point now. And with Wood League showing up there, up in the top, we're going to see some damage coming out from Dive Vision onto this bottom fort. But they got to pull away now. And here we go. Here's the Void Prison onto 4. No Misha in there. No Gul'dan. So Ring of Frost just barely outside there, missing the mark. But ETC and Rex are still going to go down just from the damage coming out from the Jaina, because even without that, she's able to root them for a second with that Blizzard coming down. And a third kill onto Gul'dan as well. So a 5-2 here as Wood League pushing in onto this bottom keep. We're going to see Stukov going back to get started on the Protector channel. But with 30-second death timers here, they're going to go ahead and back. I was going to say, I can't see them backing away. They're going to go for the keep, which makes a lot more sense. They're going to be able to take this down no problem. And all of a sudden now, with this bottom Protector, this could be very much the end of the game. We're going to see them rotate onto the point here. Stukov coming up to provide assistance. 17 seconds until Gul'dan is back, so it's going to be very difficult for them to mount a defense here. Sonya coming back as well, but already the core at 50%. Biotic emitter used, allowing the team to... well, and there's the disengaged flailing swipe. So ultimately, game number 1 going over to Wood League on Volskaya Foundry. Take a look at stats here real quick. Well, I leave those up for you. I'll get set up for game number 2. Let's see. Where are we going for game number 2? Tomb of the Spider Queen. And this was also picked by Wood League. All right, let's see here. All right, so we're going to see some similar bands to the prior round there. Going to see some similar heroes as well. And we're also going to see some heroes change sides. All right, we'll show you the talents as well. All right. That's enough of that. Let's get up for queued up for game number 2 here. Make sure that it is showing. Okay, good stuff. Had some problems with the game counters the other day, so just wanted to make sure that that was actually showing. All right, so game number 2 going to be on Tomb of the Spider Queen, picked by Wood League. The bands, Die for Vision banned out Kael'thas, Zeratul, and Garrosh. Wood League banned out Lucio, Falstad, and Leoric. All right, here we go. Turn that off. And let's get into this game. Game number 2 between Wood League and Die for Vision, Division C East. Turn the chat off, and let's get those pop-ups going. All right. Currently up 1-0. Wood League on the right. We've got Kavlor playing Gul'dan, Drupi on Raynor, Cyan on Rexar, Sailor Sky on Stukov, and Emteno on Diablo. And looking for a second point, or first point, I guess. Die for Vision. We've got Atlas on Uther, Earl Schlepp on Johanna, Shamhat on Anduin, Roy on Sylvanas, and Sulfide on Tychus. So already here we're seeing a different build for the Stukov, going for that spine launcher at level 1, giving the additional range and slow on the melee attacks, well, formerly melee attacks for Stukov, turning him into a ranged character basically. Ace in the Hole gonna couple with that. Echoed Corruption for Gul'dan. Interesting. So we've got the press the advantage for the extra range for Tychus in the bot lane, allowing him to try to get damage onto that Rexar a little bit farther forward. Hammer of the Lightbringer for Uther. So getting those faster resets on his Hammer of Justice. And we have that Shadow Dagger quest from Sylvanas. So overall, pretty similar to what you would expect here. Kind of an interesting double support comp with the Uther and Anduin. Not really sure the specific value of what they're going for with the Uther in this comp, because there's no like dive heroes. I mean, guess maybe Sylvanas. They also have the Johanna, so I don't, you know, they're not going for a main tank Uther, so I'm not entirely sure. I guess, well, not even, yeah, there's not even really the burst protection against this team, as it's very much a sustained damage team, so I don't know. There's a reason. Maybe it's just the reason that they wanted to play it, that they liked it. So, all right. And again, no Kira in this game either. No bans on Kira, no picks on Kira. So fair enough. So Sulfite in the bottom here is going to pop that minigun, try to get Droopy down low, but Misha's going to come in, and that's going to be first blood. I feel that was probably a little bit aggressive on the Tychus to try to get that kill with Rexar so close. All right, what do we got here? So, bit of a rotation in with our group of 3 up in the top lane. Gul'dan able to clear out these waves very quickly. And Sylvanas has Haunting Waves, so Roy should be able to... Oh, yeah, okay. I was going to say, should be able to make it out, but just barely left. The timer on that Haunting Wave had to be almost 0. Level 4 is being picked up here for both teams. We'll pop those up for you. And a big chastise there onto Diablo, but not quite close enough for the team to follow up with damage here. Uther's sitting at 50 stacks out of, I believe, 80. 75, rather. 80 is his Q quest. We're going to see Rexar heading back to fill up that mana pool, leaving Raynor in the bot lane. Up top, again, still that 3-man rotation, allowing Raynor and Rexar to kind of cycle in and out, depending on, you know, who needs to go away. It looks like we're getting turn-in from Die for Vision here. They don't have quite enough to make it, but they're getting pretty close. But once again, oh, Tychus very low here. Misha trying to go in for that kill, but not quite able to succeed. Both teams do have enough for turn-in now. Let's see. Uther holding his own up in the top lane. A little bit of damage up here, but not too much. Able to stall that out before it gets too close to the wall there. And just about equal in the XP. But Tychus able to get that turn in, and it's going to be the first Web Weavers going over to Die for Vision. Level 7 just picked up for Wood League. And also now for Die for Vision. So fairly uneventful game so far, other than the one pick onto Tychus. And top lane going to be the selection for both teams for both attack and defense. We'll see how they make out with this. Cavalier on that Gul'dan should be able to do pretty significant damage onto both the team and the spiders. Diablo trying to throw Atlas into the team there, but that wall does stop the enemy hero, even if it doesn't stop Diablo, so no stun onto the enemy hero. Rotation down to mid lane. So far, we've got the one tower down, the wall down. Might be able to get this second tower as well if they actually try to put some damage onto it. But ultimately, looking at the heroes here, and now Rexar coming up, along with Tychus going back to base to get healed up and filled up on mana. So net result was most value in the mid lane as both towers and the wall go down. Other lanes still pretty healthy for the most part. There's some damage, but for right now, all those walls are still up and towers are still going. And once again, Raynor coming down to get onto the siege camp here. Tychus trying to hold his own against the Rexar is having a little bit of a difficult time. Let's take a look at those talents. Did he take? He did, in fact, take in the rhythm. So giving that minigun an additional duration, especially against Amisha, should be relatively, I don't want to say easy to do, but it should be, you know, easier to stack on Misha than on most heroes. But Misha does have a stun available, so standing still to get those attacks still provides a nice, easy stun target. We're going to see some stalling coming out here from Alice, making sure that Diablo can't turn in those 45 gems. But not for too long, as Wood League is getting close to level 10s. And a pretty significant defense here from Wood League, trying to zone out for the Diablo. But a slight rotation of abilities being used to stall out the Diablo. And now, level 10's available here. We've got the Hyperion, Lightning Breath, Flailing Swipe, Unleash the Boars, and Horrify for Wood League. And that's going to allow them to pick up the level 10s. And now level 10's available as well for Die for Vision. So we're going to see Odin, Light Bomb, Hammer of Justice, Wailing Arrow, and the Blessed Shield. And Uther pretty deep in by himself there. Ultimately is able to walk away. Got slowed down by the Stukov, but successfully manages to survive there. And here comes that Siege tool in Hyperion, allowing the Wood League team to pressure against this wall. They still have a pretty healthy Webweaver. And this defense is just Sylvanas for damage. And there goes the silence into the Lightning Breath. Gonna complete 2 kills onto Sylvanas and Uther, as they were both slowed and unable to get out of that. And Diablo's not done, wants to try to get that Anduin, but not quite able to make it. And all the while in the bot lane, we've got the Webweaver pushing, and ultimately it looks like we'll be able to secure the kill onto that bottom fort. But top lane, Wood League keeps things going. Ultimately getting the wall and 1 tower, and they've got the Flailing Swipe for the disengage. So pretty significant value out of that second Webweaver. Well, I guess it's for the first Webweaver for Wood League here. Alrighty then. So once again, we've got all 5 of Wood League here trying to get their turn in for a back-to-back. Unleash the Boars going out. We got the silence, but team running into the silence here as Johanna trying to zone out for her team, but Uther's going to go down. Blessed Shield used, and the blind as well to help to disengage there, but Tychus getting charged from Emtino. We're going to see this back-to-back turn-in. And that's going to go right into the keep in the top lane. So if they commit all 5 here, I think they can get this top keep. Especially if Tychus is caught entirely alone. And that's 27 gems going down. And the things looking better and better for Wood League in this game as well here. As the game goes on, level 13 is available now as the Webweavers making their way up here. And both the mid and bot have a ways to go before they can get to keeps. Mid has to go through that fort. Bot has a long travel time, but here we go with that Hyperion again. Big Hammer of Justice, or I'm sorry, whatever, the AoE one. Divine Storm, there we go. Helps to secure the kill onto the Diablo, but Uther going down as well. The keep going down. We did see Light Bomb with that as well with the total combo, but Tychus going to fall now. And still some Webweaver health here, so with a full team, they may actually, and they in fact are looking to get at least damage on the core. May not be able to actually win the game here maybe, as Death Timers are fairly short. Yeah, and we're going to see them disengage now, as they did get fairly low. Kavlar has almost no health here, and Sailor Sky very low on mana. But they do secure that middle fort. They get the middle wall and a very significant wave in the bot lane getting the the bot keep wall. Not quite able to get any damage onto the keep itself. And they're going to go ahead and back off the boss here, recognizing the Die for Vision is on their way. All right. Turning in for not quite enough, but with 39, you don't want to run around with all of those. We do have enough for Die for Vision to get a turn in here. Light Bomb being used to try to help get Shamhat away from the team here. And it looks like that is going to be enough. But now with the Light Bomb cooldown being down and pushing them back, we are going to see Cyan getting that turn in here. And the boss play coming out from Wood League, using Diablo as a front wall to try to prevent Die for Vision to come in on this here. But we are going to see that silence going out into Team Divine Storm going out. Tychus unable to survive even with that Odin armor. Oh no, the leap of faith pulls Uther into the lightning breath and helps to get that kill. Maybe died either way, but now Johanna looking in danger, dropping 36 gems there. And with just Sylvanas and Anduin left alive, it looks like Wood League's going to make their way over to the core. They don't have Gul'dan, but they do have Raynor. And the flip on to Anduin there with the Light Bomb, helping to get a couple of stuns, but one more kill and another 25 plus gems going on the counter there, as Wood League making their way to the core, looking like they should be able to close out this game. Maybe. I was thinking they would, but Gul'dan's not here, so this is actually once again having to pull back as they just don't quite have the mana pool on Rexxar or Stukov or even Raynor. Everybody's basically out of mana with the exception of Diablo. They sacrificed the life of Misha there. They probably could have just gone for the boss originally, since they had, you know, the Raynor and the rest of the team. They probably could have taken that boss out. And at the very least gotten actual core damage. So 2 core calls, 2 core defenses so far in this game, as level 16 is now online for the Wood League. And Die for Vision looking for any positioning value, any push potential that they possibly can. They're going to get onto this bruiser camp. Make use of that 20 armor. Try to get as close to, or really try to get to 16 and then get a fight somewhere so that they can start getting some push here, get some structure damage. They haven't gotten any real structure damage since that first Webweaver push early in the game. And Wood League just coming in, clearing that bruiser camp right away. No contesting, and now they've got their own bruiser camp hanging out in the mid lane. But we're going to see, this is super aggressive here from Johanna and Uther, as the red Webweavers coming back onto the map here. And ultimately just some ultimates used. But Tychus does fall, and Diablo charging in onto Johanna. She gets flipped into that team using that Light Bomb, but also in the silence, not really able to keep herself engaged there. And Roy getting out with the Leap of Faith and then the Haunting Wave. But with Webweavers coming in now, we're going to see a full wave coming into this keep as Rexxar finishing off the Anduin. And this could be the start of the end of the game here, of the actual end of the game now, with a couple of lanes of Webweavers. No healer available for 27 seconds, but they do have their full DPS rotation, and I guess they have Arthas, or Uther rather. You know, they're similar. So maybe Uther can help to mount a defense, but not if he stands in that wave from the Webweaver and melts to the Raynor damage. And now, with the additional Web Weaver on the core, this is looking like game number 2 going over to Wood League. Third time's the charm, pushing in on this core. All right, Wood League looking strong on this. Let's take a look at these talents. By the way, 2 to 15 on kills, and you know, some games don't really look like that. Some games you see a lot of kills, or one team kind of high on the kill chart with the other not so much, and it doesn't feel like it. But this one really felt like it. There were you know, a few times where Tychus got caught out. As we can see, 5 deaths there. Uther, you know, being deep into the team. I think that the Uther was a, you know, kind of a questionable pick. I kind of wonder where in the draft that was picked up. But ultimately, you know, a good counter from Wood League to make sure that they were able to counter the Uther value. Again, level 20 not achieved in this game, only up to level 16. So I'll show those talents for you there. All right then. And let's take a quick peek at the standings. These are the updated most recent standings. So including this victory for Wood League. So Wood League sitting at number 2 right behind Winky Face. 1 point separating them. Die for Vision sitting at 6th. Let's see. So only 1 match potentially between the number 8 team Do It Right and Die for Vision at 6th with 14. So they're going to need to look for some additional points to make sure that they can potentially even remain in the playoffs, as Bancho sitting with 10 points, even Regen Anomaly with 3 matches this week, has the potential to leapfrog all the way up. So a lot of teams there in the probably 6 and below vying for those last few playoff positions. So keep an eye on these teams as they go into this coming week. That's it for us right now. Make sure you tune into the NGS Rewind at 2 p.m. today at twitch.tv/Nexus Gaming Series, as we're going to have 4 matches to showcase today, which will show up on the schedule at the end here when we go into the closing scene. So thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in a few hours.